Hello patrons! Coming back to you again with another bonus Patreon exclusive video. Thank you guys for being patrons of the channel. It really helps, and I want to give you guys some bonus content to show my appreciation for that. So we are doing this series on the EC Whipper, and we just talked about using the rapid infusion method and also using this to make a foam. We're going to do another one of Dave Arnold's rapid infusion recipes using this tool. We're going to be infusing together vodka and cocoa nibs. So cocoa nibs, this is basically part of the cocoa bean, sort of roasted cocoa bean pieces. I got this at Trader Joe's. There's nothing added to it, it's just cocoa nibs, so it's not really sweet, but it's really good for these types of rapid infusions because it's porous, right? It's like the lemon peels or the turmeric we just did, where we're going to allow the vodka to infuse directly in it using the pressure from the nitrous oxide, and that's going to be able to extract the flavor really well due to its porous nature. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to make a cocktail out of it. So let's get going. This is probably the most complicated and risky sort of live one-take video I've done for you guys on the bonus Patreon videos, so let's cross our fingers and hope it goes well. So first thing we need to do is get our cocoa nibs inside this EC Whipper, and I realize this might not be as easy as I had hoped. We're going to get a little spillage. We are using 60 grams of cocoa nibs. You can just measure this out with a scale. I'm doing a slightly lower volume version than what Dave Arnold has in his book. He tends to batch things for his bar, so it's higher volume, but I only had about 500 mils of vodka, so we're going to pare this down to that. So we're doing 60 grams of these cocoa nibs. We've got these all in there. All right. And then here we have, this is about 400 milliliters of just a neutral grain spirit for vodka. So I'm just using, what is this? I think this is like just some basic vodka from the store. I forget which one this was. Square One, I think it was called. Anyway, right into the EC Whipper. Okay. And then we're gonna cap this guy. I really only recommend using the EC brand of these creamers. They've got a lot of safety features. It's really well made. So highly recommend this. Just stir that up a little bit. And now we're gonna do the same method of double charging. So we'll get our first charge going there of nitrous oxide. Let's line that up. There we go. Should be a nice satisfying hiss. You hear that? Okay. So kind of want to agitate that a little bit. What we're trying to do here is get the nitrous oxide to force the liquid as well as the nitrous oxide itself into the pores of the cocoa nibs. So it's under a lot of pressure right now, but we're going to actually double that up. Kind of swirl that for a little bit. Okay. After you've done that for about several seconds, we're going to then load up another charger. Get that going. Okay, you can really start to feel the pressure in there. We're going to shake this for about 20 seconds or so. Just agitate it. And then we're going to let it rest for about a minute, according to Dave Arnold's spec. So we're going to let this sit for a minute. I'll be right back with you guys, and then we'll expel this out. All right, we've let that sit for a minute, and now we need to expel the nitrous oxide from the container. Now the key is to do this quickly. What can happen is when you have a lot of liquid, some liquid might then come out the top when we do this. So we need to make sure we cover this and have a bowl to capture it, which I failed to do in my first attempt at this. All right, let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3. Nice. All right. Glad I had the bowl this time. You can see the air comes out first, and then because the pressure keeps building up, it then actually projects the liquid out itself. Oh man, that smells really good. Okay, so we're gonna open this up carefully. All the gas should be out by now, however. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put the mic up to this. Hopefully you can hear the bubbling going on in here. So there's a lot of bubbling happening, and that's some of the nitrous oxide continuing to escape from within inside the cocoa nibs, and that's good. Dave Arnold recommends you let this rest for another minute or so just to let more of that flavor extract. So the bubbling is basically the sound of flavor being extracted outside of the material, in this case the cocoa nibs. There's actually a little bit of texture in here. You might not be able to see it, but it's really interesting actually. So we're gonna basically strain this out, and he recommends running it through a coffee filter. So let's get this going here. So I've got a little coffee filter set up right here because it looks like there's going to be some small bits, and then we're just going to strain out the big parts using a fine mesh strainer like this. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Okay. We'll get this guy in here too. Cool. Put that aside. Now this might take a minute to drain through. We'll put the video on pause right now. We'll let this drain out, and then we'll make a cocktail out of it. Okay, here is the result. It's a really rich chocolatey flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little sip actually. Oh man, that is nice. Oh, it's really, really nice and chocolatey and not bitter. Like the bitterness I think has been left inside the cocoa nibs. That is really, really tasty. I love that. So let's make a cocktail out of this. It's going to be what he calls Schoko Citron, which is, I don't know, it sounds German or something, but it's basically a, looks like a lemon drop, but with this chocolate vodka. So let's start building this. We're going to need, I'll put this over here. I've got half an ounce of lemon juice already measured out here. We're then also going to add to that half an ounce of just simple syrup, just 1-to-1 simple syrup that you'd make at home. Get that in there. 2 ounces of our cocoa vodka. Get that going. And then, as most sour recipes from Dave Arnold call for, we're going to add a couple drops of this saline solution. This is just salt and water, sort of a 80 grams of water to 20 grams of salt. And then we'll do some chocolate bitters, 2 dashes of this. So we got nice and chocolatey lemon drop. And then we just need a little bit of ice. Okay. We do, oh, lost one. It's a casualty of war. Okay, we're gonna do about 5 cubes of ice in here. We're gonna shake this up really good. Okay, nice and chilled. And now we're gonna just strain this, double strain this into a rocks glass with ice. Okay. And Dave actually recommends garnishing this with a little bit of candied ginger. Okay, let's give this a go. See if you guys can see that color. Oops. Yeah, it's a little, you can definitely see a little bit of the brown coming through there. Oh, that's nice. That is refreshing. Oh man, that chocolate comes through really nicely. That's really good. No bitterness. It's not too sweet. That's fantastic. I like that a lot. It's just really good application of the rapid infusion method. I think these cocoa nibs are just really porous and really nice. The flavor is really good. I've done this with lemon peels. I've done this with now turmeric. I want to experiment a little bit more with it and see how it goes. But if you guys are looking to get started, I highly recommend trying this one out. This will be a crowd pleaser. As always, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Glad we were able to pull off this sort of one-take bonus video for you guys. Stay tuned. We got some cool stuff coming up. And thank you guys again for being patrons. Really appreciate it.